name is Jim Johnson. I just want to say thank you for watching this short video about the conclusion of our 3-day event here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Life-changing, life-altering, legacy-changing event. From an outsider to meeting you and hearing more about what you're doing with infinite banking is a legacy changer. I am here with three amazing gentlemen. I'm here with Lawrence Sin, Kevin Jardet, and Scott Crutchfield, the CEO and founder of Wellington Capital Reserve. I want you guys to introduce yourselves. Tell us how you got introduced to Wellington, where it all started. Just give us a short synopsis of how you got introduced to Wellington.
Lawrence Sin from the Los Angeles area. I've been an IBC practitioner for the past few years. Met Scott on an insurance incentive trip in the back of a catamaran, and he introduced me to IBC, and it's been wonderful ever since.
Kevin Jardet, met Scott, I don't know, several years ago, and we started brainstorming to come up with a name, and together we came up with a good name. And Scott's obviously the brains of the operation, and so we've been best friends for several years. So that's how we got it. I got into it.
God really birthed Wellington Capital Reserve when he was working with Kevin and I back in Knoxville, 2017, and we formed a corporation, a Tennessee corporation, and we wanted it focused on the infinite banking concept and specifically in helping clients break free from dependence upon debt, taxation, the IRS. And so kind of Wellington was birthed with the goal of autonomy, freedom, liberty, no taxes, access to their capital, and strong guarantees in the banking system. So that's really where Wellington came from.
Well, I got to tell you, as an outsider coming in, hearing things that I've never heard before, because my whole life is, you just got to grow up, you got to get a bank account, you got to do this, and then we just accept it.
Yep. We
just accept it. The bank gets your check. You get a big check, they're going to hold it. They're going to hold it for a day. They're going to hold it for a couple weeks. I just recently got a fairly large check, and they held it for 10 days.
Yep.
And I'm like, what you been doing with money? With infinite banking, you're becoming your own banker. You're having your own bank. This weekend, there was so much that came out. Okay, so I just want to ask you guys, what from all the speakers in the last 3 days, what was one of your key takeaways this week?
Good.
It's really about transforming lives in the end. It's transforming the lives not just of our clients, but for their children and for their children's children. And ultimately, hopefully, transforming the country.
It's good.
Kevin?
For me, I've been going through a lot of life changes, and I look at my children, they're all older, except for my stepdaughter, she's only 10, but the rest of them are older, and seeing how they're living life right now, and I just I want something different, and then I come here, and it's like God's just speaking to me over and over again, and just over the past couple weeks, and then just to hear a lot of what I've heard as far as the legacy. What am I going to leave? What am I what's somebody going to remember me for? And so I figured, this is a great way of helping people change their legacy as well, and at the same time, everybody benefits.
Yep.
Well, we talk about a lot of, I even say it myself, this was a legacy changing event. The long and short of it is a lot of times in the world, opportunities are only given to a minority of people. Usually the elites or people who have millions of dollars, because if you want to start your own bank, statistically, it's going to take you $20 million to start and operate a bank. And a lot of things that I heard this week were that you teaching people how to be their own banker, you starting your own bank, your personal bank. One of the speakers said that kind of stuck out to me was that he went and purchased something. Now, whether you're somebody who wants to go out and buy a car and pay cash for it, because we've been told our whole lives, just pay cash for it, just pay cash for it. Well, it's like whether it be your children's education, a vehicle that you want, a vacation home, or anything that you would, pay cash for, a large item. He made a statement that was pretty powerful. He said, well, that $40,000 item over the longevity or the life of myself and the money that would have been in the bank if I would have allowed it to continue to grow interest,
Yep.
the value of that $40,000 ceased to exist.
Yep.
Where if he would have taken a loan through his own bank, he would have been able to keep the $40,000 in his account and drew interest on that for his life.
Yep.
Which would in fact not only just be more money for him, but more money for his family, affecting the legacy. And the fact that you were telling me something about Nelson, expound on that, because it isn't about having millions of dollars to do this system. It's about what? You said it earlier.
It's really liberty. So if you have access, and someone once said that the measurement of financial success is the amount of the banking function that you control as it relates to your current and future family needs. Okay? So if I look at this is the need that my family or my business has, I want to be able to control that all within the context of my private banking system, not ABC Bank, not some FDIC bank, not some Dodd-Frank regulated bank, right? But mine. If I can do that, then all the profits, just think about this to start us off, all the interest that was previously going to public banks now would go to me and my family. So if I could find a way to just change where my wealth lived. So instead of my wealth living at ABC Bank, it's going to live in Scott's Bank, Marla's Bank. If it lives there in our bank, right, then what happens is I have liquidity, use, and control, LUC, of my money, right? So all the money that would have been paid to Ford Motor Credit for the car, or to ABC Mortgage Company for the house, or to ABC Student Loan Company for education, all that interest comes back to me. I retain it.
This infinite banking is not just for a select few. You don't have to have millions of dollars. You were telling me earlier that Nelson said that this is designed for someone making as little as $28,000.
That's right. It's
which
the
is
example he uses.
right. So this is not something for the minority. This is something for the majority.
100%. And he believed, Jim, if we could get 10% of the population, that would be enough critical mass to turn the tide to change legislatively banking law.
Well, this isn't something, you said something earlier, this isn't something that's new. This isn't a new thing. Wealthy people have been doing this for decades.
A long time.
Been doing it for decades.
Yep.
So this isn't a new concept. This is just a concept bringing it to the majority instead of it being for the elite.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes this so great, is because it is an opportunity for the majority of people to change the legacy of their family. Now, what makes this different from other banking systems?
Lawrence?
I think it really comes down to control, as Scott alluded to earlier, the liquidity, the uninterrupted compounding interest, and the control. And when you have money positioned in either your qualified plan or other places, you really don't have control of that.
Sure.
And with the infinite banking concept and the brilliance of our Nelson Nash puts you in control.
What Lawrence just referred to, LUC, liquidity, use, and control. If my money is in ABC Bank, I don't have any of that, okay? It's exposed to taxation. With privatized banking, it's protected, so I'm not taxed on it. Let's say that I put $100,000 in an IBC structured account. And Jim, let's say it grows to $1 million, okay? In the every other system, 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, mutual funds, CDs, home mortgage interest, all those, or mortgage equity, all those would say you have a tax liability of $900,000. It's big, right? With us, zero. So in the privatized banking environment, you can dump 100,000 in, it grows 900,000 additional, so you got $1 million now, right? With our system, as long as IRS code 7702 forms the umbrella above the investment, which in our case it does, then they have no taxes forever. Here's the difference that makes. All of our competition, which is 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, TSAs, assets under management, mutual funds, bank account, savings account. That's home equity. That's all of our competition, right? All of them with the exact same growth. Let's say it's identical. $900,000 of taxable gain.
That's huge.
With us, zero. By law. So we're protected, okay? So liquidity, use, and control of the money. The big thing, if we had a place I could draw it out, with us, our clients borrow against their cash value, not from it. In the typical banking situation, you borrow from it. So if I've got 100,000 in there and I want to buy a Jardine kind of car for 90 grand, I got to go to that account. I got to pull out, withdraw 90,000. What have I done? I've reset compounding. What's left in my account? $10,000. How long? Forever. The rest of my life, $10,000 is earning interest. With privatized banking, all 100,000 still in there. It's earning 6%, 6.25% or so, forever.
The brilliance of Nelson Nash is that he brings forth the light of opportunity cost, and that's not really taught in our society, in our schools, the importance of opportunity cost. And
Even finance majors don't talk about
Exactly.
lost opportunity.
exactly, right.
When
And,
you talk, yeah, and so when I've talked to people about it in front of other people who sell life insurance, that they should know this, they don't even know that I'm selling the same type of product. You know, there's like 700, I think 700 something companies
There are, yep.
that have life insurance policies, right? But there's only 7 that have the type that we use that can be used like we're talking about.
1%, right?
Yes, 1%. So with that being said, none of these guys been in the insurance business for 20, 30 years. They're looking at me like, what the heck is he talking about? How do you do that? So that's the beauty of this. It's just so unknown, but yet the wealthy people, like you mentioned earlier, have been doing it for years. It's been a great kept secret until Wellington's come on the scene, and we're gonna show everybody.
And Nelson taught, listen to this. Nelson taught, this will resonate with our people watching this video for the first time. The typical person's need for financing over their lifetime, much greater than their need for death benefit. They need a way to buy the things of life. The average person buys 11 different vehicles in their lifetime. How do you buy them? Listen to this statement. I used to make this when I was teaching the money group. How you buy, what you buy, most of the time is more important than how much you spend. Again, how you buy, financing, cash, private banking. How you buy, what you buy, the car, most of the time is more important than how much you spend. So the typical person, illiterate in the United States, says Can I afford? I want this Lexus. I love the Lexus. They make 35 grand a year. They love the Lexus. So they ask the question, what is it when they go on the car lot? What do they ask?
How much it cost?
What's the payment?
What's the payment?
What's the dumbest question they could ask?
What's the payment?
What's the payment?
What do you need it to be?
Okay, listen to this. What Nelson did, he helped people, real, everyday, middle-income people, by saying, that's a dumb question. Don't ever ask it again. You should ask, how much does that car cost? There's two different figures that you need to think about. Number one, what's the price tag? Let's say it's 40 grand. That's the price. What's the cost to your personal economy? Because Jim, what's your wife's name?
Wendy.
Wendy. Jim and Wendy, for you to buy that $40,000 car, it's got to leave your personal economy. That's the price. What's the cost? You spent that money. It's gone. I don't care if you sell the car tomorrow, you still spent the money, it's gone, right? So while the price may be 40, the cost is factored over a 20-year period of time. And it's a factor of 2.2. So a $40,000 price equals an $88,000 cost. What's that mean, Jim? If you would have put that $40,000 and said, you know, I'm going to go through Kevin. I want to set it up. I want the car, but I want uninterrupted compounding forever. So I'm going to set that in an account, a banking whole life account with the insurance company. I'm going to put it there, go buy the car, but I'm going to get uninterrupted compounding forever. What's that mean, Scott? That means that 20 years from now, I've got $88,000 in the account. That $40,000 car I own, I'm driving it around, I look very good in it, I've got $88,000 in my account. So the difference is, if you don't privatize your money, Joe, you're going to love this, you deplete your assets. I work hard, accumulate $100,000. I gotta deplete it for what? To buy this Denali, because Jarday doesn't like average trucks. He wants a Denali. It's $90,000. So he worked all this time to accumulate $100,000. Now he depletes it. Now he's got 10 grand left and a depleting asset in the truck. Whereas if he does privatized banking, he drives off the lot in the Denali, paid for, free title. It's his. But he's got all $100,000 in his account. All of it.
Growing, uninterrupted.
Yeah. And that's really the bottom line on that. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. That's what, nobody's ever taught us any of that.
Well, it's just not normal for us to even think that way.
Exactly.
That's possible. But it is possible, folks. And we encourage you to look into this. If somebody sent you this video, you need to look deeper. Give us a call. There'll be some information in here with a website or contact information. If someone sent you this video, I encourage you to give them a call and let them tell you more about the opportunity to change the legacy of your family.
It's good.
Let's make it great. Let's make it great.
It's good.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you for what you did today. Thank you for this week. Jim Johnson, legend in videography, editing, the professional Hollywood world. Thank you for what you did. Thank you for Lawrence, our first ever practitioner. Thank you for my best friend, business partner, Kevin Jorday. I thank you guys. Thank you for everything you've done.